in the lacrosse world that you guys need to know about LA 2028. What is going on, guys? Foss here with Foss Lacrosse. All right, we need to talk about the Olympic format because the schedule is out, but the real story is in the rumor that's going around in the rules. There is a rumor going around in the women's lacrosse world that could reshape the entire Olympic competition. And it explains why almost every country at the Atlas Cup and all the Sixes tournaments are only sending one goalie. This isn't confirmed, but the rumor has spread and has become viable enough that coaches and organizations were taking notice at the Atlas Cup. So this is what I keep hearing. Sixes consists of a 12-man roster. 6 on the field, 6 off the field, makes sense in everyone's brain. But if you notice at the Atlas Cup, people close to multiple teams were talking about a possible Olympic push to trim the rosters down to 11 athletes. And again, this is not confirmed, but it's being talked about seriously enough that teams are preparing like it might happen. Most teams responded by bringing only one goalie. Canada did it, the Haudenosaunee did it, Puerto Rico did it. They were not required to. They chose to because if the Olympic roster comes down to really being 11, that second goalie spot most likely is the one that disappears. Coaches need to know right now if their number one can survive Sixes with no backup. And here's why teams are willing to take that risk. In Sixes, every roster spot matters. And if you remembered, in the USA Championship game at the Atlas Cup, Izzy Skane and Allie Kennedy both had to sit for the remainder of the game due to red cards. If that happened and they didn't have enough backups, what would happen there? The other worry is if your goalie gets injured, what are you going to do? When speaking to some of the USA team coaches, they basically said that they talked to their team and would find out who had goalie experience. And if this rumor is true, we are looking at the smallest elite roster in the history of women's lacrosse. No specialists, no draw-only players, no defensive substitutes, and maybe no backup goalie. Every athlete has to be able to play both sides of the ball anyway and run the floor for 4 quarters and maybe have to be a backup goalie too. So while everyone is currently obsessed with this schedule, the roster size might be the real story. And it is going to determine what Olympic lacrosse actually looks like next summer. And I'll keep you updated if anything comes out that is official, because this one rumor can completely change how countries build the Olympic teams.